Hey, Facebook world, how's everybody doing tonight? So thanks for joining me this evening. Those who don't know me, my name is Paula. I own Shake-a-Paw Dog Training in South Mountain, Ontario. Today, I want to talk about something I call the in-between. What I mean by the in-between is real dog training isn't just about obedience cues like sit, down, or come. Real dog training is about everyday life with your dog. It's about all the moments between the cues. These moments are guided by what we call contextual cues, environmental, social, or internal signals that tell a dog how to behave in a given situation. And those cues are happening a million times a day, whether you are aware of them or not. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely want my dogs to respond to cues. But think about the dogs you've truly enjoyed spending time with. They're usually not the dogs whose owners are constantly telling them what to do and constantly managing them and constantly controlling them. They're the dogs who are just behaved. They hang out, they're appropriate. They play when they're supposed to play. They don't play when they're not supposed to play. Some dogs do come by that naturally, and those are lucky people who should thank their worlds, their gods, God, whoever you think. But for most dogs, that calm, appropriate behavior has to be trained, especially for higher energy type dogs. And this is where a lot of people run into trouble because they focus heavily on obedience, but not enough on the in between. For example, when I'm watching TV or working at my desk, I expect my dogs to just hang out. They don't have to lie perfectly on their beds or stay in the same room with me. They can wander the house, but I also don't want them constantly asking me to throw a toy or engage, or I don't want them engaging in full-on roughhousing because that just is obnoxious. A little mouth wrestling is perfectly fine. Nonstop chaos, not so much. When I had Akitas, this behavior came supernatural. So that's what I was used to with my first dogs. Now that I have border collies, this absolutely has to be trained. And this starts very early for me. Anytime a puppy is loose in my house and they choose to settle, they get rewarded for that choice. I'll go over and drop a couple of kibbles, or I'll go over and give them a little pet, something. And this is something people often miss. Sleeping puppies are so easy to ignore. And honestly, some people are like, peace, the dog is quiet. I remember a friend of mine, she had a Siberian Husky puppy. And when the dog was sleeping, she's like, do not touch the dog. Do not look. Do not make noise, because you'd wake the dog up and then he'd be awake. Well, then when the puppy does wake up and starts running around, getting into things, that's when we give our attention. And so what does the puppy learn? That calm behavior gets ignored and chaos gets engagement. This is totally not what you want. Using management to teach the settle, I use quite a bit. Tethering. For example, when I eat dinner on the couch like a lot of people. And I want my dog to get used to, this is something that happens. You're not getting it, so stop trying. I tether them so they can't reach me. They get used to seeing food, smelling food, and not being able to access it. Over time, when I sit down to eat, my dogs learn to go and lie on their beds. And they do this automatically. I don't have to tell them, because that's where reinforcement had happened in the past. And it happens pretty strongly for the first year-ish of their lives. I've probably slowed down on Fizz's reinforcement when I'm eating, probably in the last 2 months, and she's 11 months. So before that, and she still does get it sometimes, but I'm starting to wean it away because she knows the behavior now. Now she's just waiting for food. And I'm like, yeah, I might feed you sometimes, but I'm not going to feed you every time. They're choosing the behavior that has paid off for them over and over. So start thinking about everyday life. What do you do? Do you play video games? Do you watch TV when you're cooking dinner? What do you want your dogs to do? What would be the ideal dog? Would be lying on a bed, chewing on their toy. So setting yourself up so your dog has no choice in these behaviors, but eventually these become the habits that create that dog that is easy to live with. So to wrap up, The real training is the in-between. So I want you to think about the in-between in the next couple of weeks, especially in the next couple of weeks if you have company and a lot of stuff going on with the holidays. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. If you have questions on this or any other subject, leave them in the comments below. Otherwise, have a great night. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.